Good morning everyone, and welcome to the final day of National Apprenticeship Week. Thanks for joining. We are joined this morning by Dave Rees from Vizion Network, who is here to talk to you about the motor industry and apprenticeships within it. If you have any questions throughout Dave's talk, then the Q&A box is open, so please just pop them in there and we'll read them to Dave at the end of the session. That's it, over to you, Dave.
Morning everyone, nice to be talking to you. Just a little bit of background. I work for a company called the Vizion Network, and we work with insurance companies all over the UK and with body repairers that repair cars when they've been crashed. We're the biggest in the country, and we'll deploy probably 500,000 cars into body shops for repair during a usual year. Not quite the same with the COVID situation, but we're all doing well on that one. So I'm going to talk to you this morning about the careers in the automotive industry. I've been in the automotive industry since 1967. I've travelled all over the world. I've done many jobs in various parts of the industry, and it all started with an apprenticeship. And that's why apprenticeships are really important. And in the automotive industry, there's about 20 or 30 different apprenticeships. So sometimes there's a bit of a misconception that, you know, if you're in the motor trade, you've got to be a mechanic or get your hands dirty. But there's so many other jobs out there now with technology moving forward. So if you look at the fact that we've got electric cars come in, we've got hybrid cars come in, we've even got cars that drive themselves, and would you believe flying cars are being developed in America at the moment? And this technology needs future engineers to actually repair them. So I'm going to give you a few tips on apprenticeships and why they're really important to everybody, but why we think, you know, definitely within the automotive sector. The automotive sector's been going for 120 years since Henry Ford started mass production, and we've always had apprentices in every sector. So it's important, and it's there, and it's an opportunity for young people to start their career. One of the main reasons for an apprenticeship is the fact that if you're thinking of your next career move and you're not really looking to go to university, or your friends are going to university, there's a fair chance that they're going to come out of their university with a lot of debt. With an apprenticeship, there's no debt. The apprenticeships are funded by the government and by employers, so you can be trained and you won't come out at the end of it with any debt. Second point really is you're earning while you're learning, but your learning never stops. So once you've come out of your apprenticeship, there's still a lot to learn in the industry, and it's flexible. So you could start as a mechanic, as I did, and did a 4-year indentured apprenticeship, which is the old style apprenticeship. I then went on to manage businesses. I ran my own business. I've consulted all over the world, and now I'm a training manager for this huge organisation in the UK. And it all started from apprenticeship. So it's really important that you understand what apprenticeships are all about. They're very in demand because there's a massive skill shortage. Whether you decide that automotive is for you or something else, there is a demand at the moment because there's a huge global skill shortage for good craftsmen in the industry. So there's demand. So it's a great time to be looking for apprenticeships. And I know that sounds really strange with COVID and with businesses sort of struggling, but this is a great time to be looking for apprenticeships. And that's why we founded a company called School of Thought with some colleagues, and we're here to help young people. If they want to investigate or look for career opportunities, then we say come to us and we'll guide you along the way. You can start straight from school. So I left school, I remember it clearly. I left school on July the 7th in 1967 on a Friday, and on the Monday morning I started work as a trainee, as it was then, in a garage. So there's no break, and if you start planning it, you can literally start work one week and start work 1 week after you've left school. Most people do have a little break, I must admit. And the apprentices now are designed by the companies. So all the apprentices, the Trailblazer apprentices, have been designed by the sectors, by automotive specialists. So they are fit for purpose, and they're reviewed all the time because we're one of the most highly technical sort of sectors in the world at the moment. If you're thinking of a car, you could be thinking right now of something like a Tesla, which is very high tech. But all the companies now are building these very highly technical cars that talk to each other, cars that will be beyond the understanding of the older generation. The fact of the matter is we're guardians of what we've got. You're the future. And you're the future of automotive, and we certainly like you to be involved in that side of it. The qualifications you come out with after an apprenticeship, they're recognised internationally. So being in the automotive industry can take you all over the world in your career. So, you know, the cars that we see now definitely won't be the cars that you would be working on, selling, working in parts departments, looking at in the future. The whole world of automotive will change in the next 10 to 25 years, but we'll always need vehicles, and we'll always need people to look after vehicles and service vehicles. So being an engineer in the automotive sector is a long-term sort of career path, and it can lead you into anywhere in the world. I've got some great friends in Africa, in the Middle East, who started with apprenticeships, and they've now got fantastic jobs overseas. We've got 72 ambassadors with School of Thought. They've all started with apprenticeships, and they're doing some fantastic jobs. So when you're thinking about automotive and wondering how you could have a career, the apprenticeship is the way to start. It really does get you going, and they're very flexible. So you can start an apprenticeship in one skill set, and you can take on other skill sets as you go along. So for instance, you could start off as a mechanic, and you might feel that through your apprenticeship you want to learn how to paint a car or weld or do something else, or go in the parts, or be a service advisor. And you can do that quite easily through the apprenticeship route and through automotive at the moment. And then on the other side of it, on the final side of it, there's always help available. There's help from mentors, there's help from your colleges, from your bosses, all the way through. And we've got some fantastic facilities now. So gone are the days when the garage was a dirty, horrible Phil Mitchell or the Dingles, or even Kevin Webster from Coronation Street view. They're now modern, high-tech, almost clinical environments, because that's the way cars need to be repaired in this day and age. So apprenticeships are important. Apprenticeships are the way in, and I think at the end of it, that's something that you've got to decide. But we would welcome anybody into the automotive sector. if you're looking where you're living in the Greater Manchester area, there are hundreds of businesses in the Manchester area that are automotive related, and they're looking for you right now. That's what they're doing. And if you're following anything on social media at the moment, on apprenticeships, the automotive industry is incredibly proactive at looking for their technical staff for the future. I've been in this for 57 years now, coming up, and it's still my passion, and I still get up in the morning and I still love the industry. And I think that's just about it. I think that's you know, we're here as School of Thought, and if you've got any inquiries, then just go on to www.schoolofthought.info, or ask me any questions, or feed this back to me, and I'll help you in any way I can. Okay.
Thanks, Dave. That was really useful. We'll give a couple of minutes for any questions to come in. If you do have a question for Dave about apprenticeships in the motor industry, then please just pop them in the Q&A box and we can ask Dave. Whilst we're doing that, I'll just ask you a couple of questions myself.
Yeah.
I suppose, what would be a piece of advice for young people who want to find an apprenticeship in motor vehicle? Where would they look? We do have our website, which is the Greater Manchester Apprenticeship and Careers Service website, which is gmax.co.uk. And we have active apprenticeship vacancies from across Greater Manchester on there. But what would be a piece of advice for other young people looking for an apprenticeship?
Well, I think you've got to go to people that know where the businesses are. The hardest part for youngsters is basically trying to walk around or phone up or find somebody that's taken apprentices. So it's much easier to go to something like School of Thought and go and inquire on our website, and we can then sort of find who's got apprenticeships in the area, or go to a website that's IMI Auto City, which have vacancies for apprentices, and they've got lots of information on their website for apprentices. The IMI is the Institute of Motor Industry, and they've got IMI Auto City, which is their education side. So that's a great site to go to if they're interested in a career in body repair, in crash repair. There's also an organisation called Auto Race. So if they search for Auto Race, they'll find their website, and they will point them in the right direction for anything that's sort of body shop related. There's a lot of avenues there. If you wanted a simple one, www.schoolofthought.info, and then we'll get back to them and we'll point them in the right direction. We've got a network of over 70 ambassadors. We've got at least 5 or 6 in the Manchester, Lancashire area. So there's always somebody that will be able to feed them back some information.